there is a global view of research, conventional way of doing research. Not that in a Morocco, that's where we do it, or in a T, that's where we do it. If it does not meet the global standard, it's not useful. Research is a means to discover new facts. So, and it involves, when the word systematic, it's not something that you just do anyhow. There's an order to research. A lot of people say that, oh, in my university, this is the way they do it. No, there's a global view of research, conventional way of doing research. Not that in a Morocco, that's where we do it, or in a T, that's where we do it. If it does not meet the global standard, it's not useful. So, take for instance now, because we are Yoruba people or we are Igbo, okay, then I must do research with my language, maybe Yoruba language or Hausa or Igbo language. That's not the language of research. Language of science is English. If you say you are an English, a French person, I must do it my own way. And it does not meet up with global, because the global standard says English. So if you send anything anywhere, even if you are a Frenchman or you are from Russia, nobody use them. Nobody will even accept it because it does not meet the scientific language of research. So now, systematic investigation. Now, the word investigation is very deep. So, and then in the course of investigation, you can discover many things. I mean, you found that there's a place where there's crude oil, and when you get there, you just know that there's crude oil there. You don't know the how you're going to the crude oil, whether the kind of crude oil that is there. You don't know all other obstacles around that location. So it's when you get there, you start investigating, and then you are getting to, I mean, understand the terrain you have. You will also see that you work into a subject. It means that research is something that is convergent. And why do I say that? There's no man that can do everything. And that's why somebody says that a professor is someone who knows uh, many things about one thing and one thing about many things. So what does that mean? That you cannot say that, oh, you're a researcher in all sciences, everything. No, you must have specific areas of interest. Or maybe at a particular time, you're also saying, I'm doing a research in this area. And then the target is that you want to focus on what you are doing, you get results. So the journey of research is very, very probabilistic if you are actually going to discover new facts. But today now you find out that people say they are doing research, then this everything is out. Yeah. And then they're looking for where to publish the work. That's not research. That's just exercise. It's like somebody give you a classwork. Just go and do it, and then research is not done that way. And then next week another one is out. Within 1 month you have published like 10. Now you are publishing, you are not doing research. So you could publish anything. But if you want to do research, what do we do? Say, with the aim of what? Discovering new facts. Sorry, discovering new facts. So research is actually meant to discover new facts, novel way of doing things. It may not look bogus, but it's something that is important. It doesn't have to look very big, but that solution you have brought can answer some questions that are unanswered. That's what we mean. As you said. Now, it, I mean, also with the aim of interpreting existing information. There are works that have been done, and then there are no strong lights about that work, no deep light. You want to shed further light on that area. B. Okay, people have done something to this extent. I want to shed further light. and these are my questions, and these are my reasons for doing this. We want to go deeper with okay, or developing new theories. You see now, so it could be application or applications, new theories or application. So now there are people who are doing research. Like let's assume somebody. I'm talking of a view of mathematics. They're in functional. They are doing or numerical analysis. They are doing research. Now it is either you are focusing on new theories, like you want to develop new theorems that can give light to some certain area functional. Be doing that, and that is basically theoretical, and there is no application. But it will be useful even in some application later. Are you getting me now? But now, if you are doing application, let it be application. Now, if we are saying that we are doing application and our application is not useful by the consumers, what kind of application are you doing? Well, the question is the world is looking for people who will solve their problem. Now, the real world, the industry, the companies outside there, they are looking for solution providers. They are looking for and one of the way to get that solution is to find people who are thinking. I mean, who are doing research. So, and most importantly, if you go to developed world, now you find out that there is a feedback between university and and the industry, the company, and all that, because now people are doing relevant research, and then they find people who can solve their problem in the university. So it's not a parallel line between the university and the industry. There's no parallel line. They are working together. Are you getting me now? They engage themselves in industry academic problems. But in our setting in Nigeria, why is it that people are doing research and they cannot call me from the university as a professor to come and help to solve a problem in the industry? Are you getting me now? So why that kind of and what it means is that what I am also teaching the students does not have relevance. You don't understand what it means. It means what I'm teaching the student, somebody graduates 4 years, after 4 or 5 years, what I'm teaching him is not relevant. Because if I'm in, let's take for instance, I'm in food engineering and they took me to Nestle, eh? I should find a solution to a particular problem with spaghetti in Nigeria. And they don't want spaghetti to make people fat again. What can we do in terms of food chemistry that will make spaghetti to be more hygienic and strong to make people healthy and let it be a good food? What kind of thing can I do? And then they put me before the equipment. I cannot even use them. Then I have prepared students for 5 years that food science, and they graduate. They said, okay, you are graduate of food science. Okay, um, okay, what can you do for us? You know, they didn't even train you. They just put you there. Then you are looking. For the next 2 weeks, you cannot do anything with it. Why? It means that your education is inversely proportional to the reward. It doesn't have anything to the reward. So you and I, as you are seated there, I want to start provoking something in you. That what kind of education am I learning and what's the way out? Kind of education you are getting that is not going to make you to become a solution provider, then that education is questionable. Are you getting me? Now, why do I know that? Now, even do you know that Joseph did not go to, only to use this example, Joseph did not go to any university, Bible, but God prepared him to solve his work problem. The kind of university he went to, at the end of the day, it will solve problem for a nation when there was a problem. He told them what to do. That there was going to be famine. But this is what you should do. To allow everybody at the end of the harvest to give 20% of their produce so that they can keep. So nobody, all the professors in the kingdom of Egypt, none of them could give that solution. At the end of the day, they said, who is qualified to do this job? Prime Minister. 30 days, he rose up as that. And some of us who attended Harvard, all of that, we could not find that solution. We could not give optimal solution to the problem. 2 weeks ago, I was searching, I was just looking online, and I was seeing jobs. So I told somebody, I was telling them in church, I said, why are people saying there is no job? There are jobs, come on. But there are people who cannot do the job and graduating. They have masters, they have PhD, they have all the degrees, all the certificate with them. But those certificates cannot produce anything. So here in the ICAMMDA, we want to challenge people. Being able to think out of the box that what I'm doing after finishing, some of you are finished BSc now. You know that with what you have, what can you do? BSc mathematics. The best you can do is to go and be teaching calculus in one place there. Secondary school. They will engage you there because you don't have the skill. You don't have what it takes. So if you have gone to school in a country where things are working, you find out that they engage you in the process. As you are a student, some of you, when they know that you want to be in pure math, they engage you in that area and apply. Right from university, you start going into industry, solving industrial problems. Some of the problems they bring to you in the class, they're industrial problems. There's a group in Germany, they call them the techno mathematics. What do? They bring, what's it called? They bring problem to them from the industry, and they will ask them, can you do it? They're mathematician. Yes, we'll try. Now, the other time, the guy that was telling us this, I met him in 2014 in Sri Lanka. He came from Ghana. I was in Sri Lanka for like 2 weeks. Then he was telling us that all this mass that we are using, that people are learning, that seems to be not useful. And in Germany, they have a group that they solve industry problem. That when they give the problem to even engineers, engineers cannot solve them. But they bring it to mathematicians. So at the end of the day, the country, German country, wrote a story around mathematicians and engineers. That mathematicians are solving their problem more than engineers. So they have the math and they can apply them. So some of them are building, they build algorithm around those PDEs and all that. They use it to solve problems. And at the end of the day, they get the money. The lab get the money. They get the fund. In fact, somebody was telling us that there's an institute inside Germany, one of the universities in Germany, that has more money than the university. Yes, than the whole university. He said that if the professor in that center, if he should remove that center of the university, because they give money to the university, yes, so they are solving problems. That's why I think ICAMMDA is going. Education should not be a liability. If you get educated and your education does not solve the problem, starting from you being able to feed yourself, you have to ask yourself a question. Are you getting? So, developing new theories or applications solve problems. Now, it involves a careful, methodical approach. A careful and methodical. You see, let me tell you now, you cannot just enter any field anyhow. There are principles, there are guideposts to do anything. Everybody just think that what's it called? If it's research, I just copy this one and then do this one. No, there are principles that guides every system. So that's where I'm actually perspective. Now I must be able to come out and bring out students I'll be meaningful that can solve industrial problem. At the end of the day, you finish as an economics, fit in the World Bank easily. One, you have the skill, the softwares that they are using there, you are using it. You have the economics in your head. You have all the theory and the application. You have used data to do all those things before. You just fit in immediately. You don't need to be retrained any longer. Even when you are doing your IT, you are even going there to help them solve some problem. Are you getting me now? Now, what are people looking for? They are looking for minimum value product. I told some people yesterday. Now, it's not just about having a proposal. You can have a proposal, but they want to see that what have you done, but the body is faster. And that was when they are talking of fractional calculus. You understand? Power law, all that. So the decay of the bones, it takes a while. So there's a kind of frame they are making inside the plane. And even if the body of the brain got spoiled, the people, and then something that becomes a kind of coverage, then you collect those, and then at the end of, so people are thinking that way. That's research. Because for you to do that, it involves a lot of hands. Just one people. It's a team. It's a big team that will be factored together. And they are doing that every day. Why are they doing that for you? When you make your money, your billions in Africa, you go and buy such trade. So that money goes where? Does it come here? It goes to their country. Now, when they make a new car now, some of you are watching on the TV. Wow, I'm going to buy this. So where does that money go? It goes there. Does it come here? So we are consumers. They are the one leading when it comes to research. So, however, it costs a lot of money, and many people feel that developing countries like Nigeria cannot afford to fund research, while there are real problems which require urgent attention and money.
I think it's about setting priorities right. Nigeria, we are not setting, and maybe some other developing countries are not setting their priorities right. Now, here it is saying that developing countries like Nigeria cannot afford to fund research while there are real problems which require urgent attention and money. Now, research takes a lot of time, takes a long time. There are researches that the benefits that we're enjoying now, some of the researches that the products we're enjoying now, took a long time ago. It was a long time ago that some of those researches were better. Now, so but people who are leaders and they want immediate gratuity, they want to see the immediate outcome of that research, but they've forgotten that research can take a long time, a lot of time. So I think in funding research, we need leaders who should know the importance of research, who should, when they know the long-term effect of research, they can fund research. And that's why in developed countries, they are far ahead of it because they know that research is of high priority and they fund it.
Thinking in another direction, particularly around, because itself is this is a problem because it's an understanding that whosoever is supposed to be a custodian for our resources, our leaders are having that they cannot fund research either because of a misplaced priority or because they feel that they are not. There are some people doing good research in Nigeria. At least it may be very few, maybe very minute, but people who are at least doing some things. The majority may not be doing anything. So I feel that yes, this is a mindset actually. For whatever gave rise to that mindset is a mindset. And the second aspect that says there are many problems, which we know that when we respond to it is research. Now here we are seated. This is the situation in our country. We are not getting the funding, but we know there are problems. We are here, youth. We think that we can go in there through research and do something. So what we then? So how do we go? So I was thinking that if we sit down here and do all the blame game for the leaders and those maybe who have gone ahead who are not didn't make the research look fundable, Yeah, we nothing comes out of it still. But we want to see how do we beat this kind of thing. So I'm thinking in my own head that I think we begin to look for uh, those sources that are really interested in funding research, those sources that value what we do, that value research. And like Prof said, that it will also be wrong to think that only government fund research in Nigeria. So when we see uh, countries like Nigeria are not fund research, but there are other means also that research can be funded if we can go through the rigor of sitting down and then thinking innovatively to bring out something meaningful and push it out there. Prof talked about proposal. He also talked about minimum value products, which I think that if those companies found, we went to UI the other time, we saw there are companies who are saying that bring your, come and show us that you can do this, we will fund it. I mean, we were there, they were saying it. So it does not have to be the government. I think we should begin to look inward, not necessarily playing a blame game now. If not, we won't find a solution around this thing. Yeah, so that's my own view around this whole discussion.
The kind of poverty level in the country. So because of the poverty, people tend to think towards consumption. Everybody thinks like, what can I eat? What can solve my immediate problem? So the poverty of the mind first, and then of resources affect the ability to see far into what can be done. Like Mr. Ashim earlier said that research takes time, so we do not want to spend that amount of resources on something that will not give us an immediate return. Thank you.
Doing this research so that they can get academic promotion. So me, I'm thinking that this can be changed if the basis for promotion is not only to make research that should be published. And we should look at the place of patenting and publishing. There should be an industry. Industry, if you have, Prof was talking about industry, now there should be a research and industry that we believe that I am making this research so that I've seen a problem and then I've made a research in solving the problem and giving it to the industry. So the industry is supposed to work upon what has been researched on and patent it. That will solve the problem of the community. So if maybe we have checked, okay, what problem has this industry been solving in time past by the product that is coming out from their research? And if they can produce like history, this with the conversation between the present and the past will determine what will happen in the future. So if we can know what has happened to the industry in time past and what they are presenting in the present, will maybe show us or tell us the possible solution that can come to that community at that present time. Of course, there will be funders. They want to put their money into it because funders don't want to say that, oh, we're also part of people that bring solution to the problem that is happening in this country. So what I'm saying is that researcher should not just the country should not just focus on, okay, if you have this number of publications, if the publication, just like Prof used to say that there are several publications that will just end in maybe Google Scholar, nobody's using it because they are just publishing so that they can the statement of if you don't publish, you will perish. All those things is very, very common in academics. So research should not just be focused on academic alone, but it should be brought to industry. And then industry should see the results. Like industry have research group that once they can bring result from that research group, and then they can use that in patenting something that can benefit the country or the community. It will change the things that is going on. Thank you.
Might have also loved the topic. They say that this is now feasible because of the funding. If an average the supervisors that have also have the passion to push forward, but at the end of the day, they have to tell the student that you see this your topic within the framework, within the time, is not feasible. Even if they want to put their own personal, it will take a lot of sacrifice at the Nigerian level to actually push the research to a long way. Even like you said, the minimal value between you and the student. with passion from the supervisor and the student, they could push it to a level. If at their level they had some kind of level of income to push it, if they both had that passion. But without that, most times some of these ideas are dropped. It's not that we don't have ideas in Nigeria, but that thing to push it forward is surely a factor.
But you can't overseas. They are not using their money,
Yes,
their
sir.
personal income. And well, when you say that it takes a long time, because I would not agree with that because the question is, and there's always a what's it called? Every research is time bound. Now somebody can start from where you stop. You don't have to do everything. You understand what I'm saying now? If you're a PhD student and you are meant to spend 3 years and you have done minimum work to qualify you for a PhD for that work, there is no time somebody continuity. Most times there is no continuity in research. Are you getting what I'm saying now?
Yes,
So even if the work is going to take like 20 years to do, but there are apart from that, when you look at that kind of group, it's more or less like a group work, not just you alone. Just like in ICAMMDA now, a lot of people are coming together to brainstorm on a particular thing, and then people are doing it. Some are doing it at master's level, some are doing it at PhD level, and there's a kind of feedback. So that kind of thing we are talking about now, because when we look at it in that dimension that if the supervisor does not have money, then now we are not talking of supervisor having money, personal income to use for research. We're talking about now we looking at the situation. Now, take for instance the camp that we decided to feel that camp that is not start like this. We decided to say, okay, what can we do? There's a problem already on ground. What made us to see. And we're beginning to see that okay, from the onset, how do we solve this problem? You understand me now? So and we started taking steps. I went to Abuja to get better. If I don't take steps, I will still be where I was. Are you get so there should not be any excuse saying that somebody have an idea. No, you need to put some of those things in action. We know that when I was going, there were a lot of constraints. If I have to look at the constraint, I will not be here, my friend. If I have to look at the no I received, I will not be here, my friend. If I have to look at the what's it called, the excuses people were giving me at Abuja, why they cannot provide this for me, I will not be here. So all those excuses are not going to work in the face of what we are talking about. But if I have given excuses, you will also not be here, my friend. Are you getting me now? So what we are saying is that now an holistic way, in the sense of okay, how do we mitigate against this challenge going forward? I have you have come with that. Like somebody was telling us, a student in a particular university came up with an idea to do something in a different way. Not even something that will take them to the lab. Something that will solve a particular point with some new algorithm. But because the professor want to stay within his own cocoon, he pegged the guy and said, no, don't go that direction, go this direction. That's what we are talking about. That one does not even cost any money. It doesn't cost any money. How do you breach that kind of thing? That's what we are talking about. I understand what you are saying, but you need to now look at it that, okay, looking at this perspective, how do we go about it going forward?
The funding and then a scholarship. Before you know it, we all know the story of Prof. If not because of the kind of man he is, if many of us had that opportunity to leave Nigeria, we are very familiar with no, we are not coming back. That is the song we will be singing. But look at that, because there was an opportunity, he was funded, he moved out of this country, and then he was exposed to many things that if he was to be here, he wouldn't have had most of those things. But what happened after that funding? He went there, he was able to expose to many things, and then came back and then start something like this. If not because of that, we won't be here. Now, what am I saying? I'm saying that in addition to what somebody said here, Nigeria cannot afford to fund research. It is not actually because they can't afford. I'm saying it in a way that they are not seeing the effect of that funding. Because even as Nigerians, we are a beneficiary of. There are many things that is happening in this country that it is because of the funding that has been happening before now. If other countries were not funding some of the people, one of the residents of Nigeria, there will not be anything like development here in this country. Yes. So what I will also add lastly is that the problem of no funding in Nigeria is because some of our leaders are not seeing the effect. Okay, what will this thing do? So if there could be a program or a settings that can educate some of these leaders for them to see the benefit of funding. There is no country that will not require research. Without research, there will not be development, as we rightly stated here. So, and that is highly needed. When we come up with the estimation of the budget on tenfold for every year, it is a lot of money. So, in fact, there was a time my prof and myself were talking that instead of keep funding people to study abroad, why not stop that and equip the Nigerian professors to do quality research and engage postgraduate students? So, but the underlying problem there is that maybe in a way we are not believing in ourselves. Like the kind of what actually come out after the whole training, the leaders still don't believe in us and not believing in what we can do. But even if Nigeria government sends somebody to go and study in Harvard, when the person returns to Nigeria, what the person is supposed to have been able to do, they will not trust that person to do that thing. They will still go abroad to bring somebody to do that. An example is also a local company producing car. How many of our leaders are buying cars from there? So those are the instances. Then another thing also is that there are a lot of personal benefits that government sees in sending people abroad. We also saw it during the COVID-19. Instead of engaging Nigerian professors that can do research on COVID-19, they brought people from abroad. Up with their budget, they also include their own so that they benefit from it. So when we are able to, the way out is that the move Prof has made in the past and still making is that we take our product to them. This is what we can do. Until we begin to showcase what we can do, then over time, they will begin to believe in what we are capable of doing. And with time, we get the right leader that will be able to think in our direction.
Products of the university, of that university. That's why you don't play with the students. The students are our projection. So if we are able to equip them and they see that now we are producing students that can solve problems, come on, country will start changing their mind gradually. Maybe out of 30 students that came out, they saw that 25 or 27 of them, very good, they are doing things that they want. And then that repeats itself for like 10 years. What will happen? We'll start coming back. People will start rethinking gradually. And then, another issue is also the issue of poverty mindset. Poverty mindset is not as if, like, poverty mindset does not mean that you don't have money. Somebody, you may be rich, but when you have poverty mindset, you know what you do? You have money to eat, or you have money, you still want to keep some. You want to keep some that is not your own illegally. Now, if the government, look at it now, let's give an instance. People are playing ball, playing football, and they are scoring. All of them scored. They saw it one time, second time, third time. They have come to believe them that they can play. Do you understand me now? They have tested. What do? They invest in them. I don't know whether you understand. From that perspective, people are playing football. Now they have been playing. They played the first time, they won. Second time, they won. Third time, they won. Are you getting me now? Then they now played final one. They now did what? They won. This. Do you need any certificate? You see, people want practical. You said that, okay, this thing can cure cough. Now this person use it. About 30 people, 50 people use it. The cough disappear. Then they will go and invest in it. Boy, come, how much you go collect? Let's stop. Produce thing in large numbers. You sell it at Abuja, send it, they go, they buy it. The government will call you and say, come and be producing for us. We want to invest in it. Other nation, they will come, they buy it. Money will come. But now you produce it, sell the work. This person use it. He died. The following day.
At the point of selling.
Yes. So nobody wants to invest. So government have done their own research in football, and they have gotten proof. But they did their research in science and research. They were getting that. You know, I gave a story the other time. Now, some people build a plane. You understand? So they build the plane, and then some academia, professors, they bought tickets, and then they were to fly. And then, you know, when you enter the plane now, once they enter the plane, and as they were in the plane, so somebody stood up and said, "Thank God for our Nigerian students for building this kind of." The student you thought they are the one that built this plane. I saw professor just they come out one by one. Hey, you mean these students build this plane with what you taught them? All the professors leave that plane immediately. Why? Because they knew that with what they taught them, this plane will go down and the war die. You don't understand?
Initially, that fund have been funding so many people, even in 4 year here. But right now, there is a policy that the government is no more willing to fund anyone to go out. Why? Because they discovered from their own research that maybe I can't really remember the percentage. Quite a lot of people that were sponsored abroad are no more coming back. And so the government decided that they are no longer funding anybody to go out for any maybe masters or PhD. So that's corruption. We all see, we have this mentality that any money coming for research is national cake. So we academics, even though we are not in politics, so we can't get the free money. I had that story that most of the professors that were giving it from, the first thing they do is to use the money to buy a car. And so, you know, and government, these government officials we are talking about, they all have this information. So when we go out there crying that we need money to fund research, they will just, when they go back to their own meeting, they say it's not any research. They need money to build house or to, you know. So I think we need to have a new generation of researchers with a different perspective or different mentality. That's the way out. When we begin to have such, and government begin to see that, oh, these people are really using the money they fund. Like one of us said that in abroad they have money. The money they have is not really their personal money, it's grants. How many of our professors have grants? Our research is more theoretical than practical. Like we just want it for the books and not for impact.
If the government fails us, we should not fail ourselves. And I think it is that aspect that we have failed ourselves that is making this appear to be true. In that, from what has been said, money was given, but it was converted to something else. And people that are in authority who have been in the academic position before, they knew about all of these things. So even when you are raising your voices, they know the caliber of people who are raising these voices. So for me, I see it that the change has to begin with us that are here. In that we have had a taste of what it is to have a research grant, to have the skills to answer to provide answers to problems in the industries, and you are funded for that, and you are using that fund to actually carry out that purpose. In years to come, we are going to change these narratives.
What I'm telling you, I'm not telling you theory. People are calling from different places. Are you getting me now? So there is what everything you are doing in ICAMMDA is useful for any industry. We told you some of our students that have left this place. One of them went to what's it called? Is it Coleman? He read industrial chemistry, but he spent 8 months here. They send them for after NYSC, they send them out. I mean, but he went to them and told them, I know data science. He was the only one they picked. The other one got a job with one big gate firm in Abuja. He told us that as they just saw mathematical modeling at that time in his CV. That was the final. That one did not see that one that got job in what's it called in Coma. Did not study mathematics. He did industrial. The job was not based on industrial chemistry. It was based on data science that he knew. Are you getting me now? So if you are saying some of these things is practical, I'm not just when I come here and I tell you do this, you think that I know I don't know what I'm doing. That's why here what we emphasize is the head engagement, the heart engagement, and the hand engagement. Your hand, skill. If you come here as economics, we don't throw you away. We train you as quantitative economics so that you can be relevant in the industry. The word quantitative there makes you relevant anywhere in the industry. You can also get contract. You can get consultancy project.
I think I should move into something meaningful with my life. So if I come out of this system that have engaged me for this number of years, I should be a problem solver, not only to speak English. No, I should be a problem solver. So what I'm saying now is that we are seated here now, and then the opportunity I think the center is providing for us now to do this kind of research. Now I'm beginning to differentiate doing research and doing publications. And Prof rightly said that they are different. So I think now is the right thing to choose to be a researcher. I think for a researcher it makes impact.
Yeah, you also publish.
And we publish. Yes. We publish, but not all publishers are researchers. But the underlying thing there is the impact.
Yeah, yes.
That the researcher is making. So if Nigeria, as we have said it now, says, or if not even Nigeria is not even saying it, we have all agreed that Nigeria is not saying it, and maybe they cannot afford to sponsor research or something. So I think we want to come out of our own evil mentality as a people to know that we want to start solving problems, and I believe that somehow some people will begin to locate us. I now see the center also already entering into that, because within a couple of months ago now, we have received a lot of calls, and then what people know that we are doing, they reached out to us. And some of the other things that are also in the pipeline, I'm sure Prof was not intending to show us until that it has materialized. We were called for it, not that we were the one looking for it. So lobbying for them. So what I am saying now is that if we keep on doing what we are doing it well, doing it correctly, somehow you see that you'll be located, you'll be found, and then money that the country does not have, will no longer be your own story, and then people will look at you and say, how are you doing your own? So yeah, your own may be different because you are doing it differently. So I think for us as a center and as a people that have gathered here, we should begin to think differently and not think that there's no money there. I believe there's money.
To take trend of what is going on in Nigeria, and then you want to do something in a different way. That's the spirit you must carry. So that at the end of the day, you don't become a beggar because you have read physics, or you have read maths, or you have read biology. Are you getting me now? So you can do something with your hand, you engage, what do we say? And skill, add skill to your physics, add skill to your biology, add skill to your maths, add skill to your economics. That's what makes like an icing on your cake, makes you different. Because without that, you discover that Nigeria is not paying for teaching. You get that? No money when it comes to you to teach. They have already degraded it to the lowest estate. Are you getting me now? But you know that when you have ideas will creativity, the power of creativity will make it different. Are you getting me now? So that's what we are doing in the ICAMMDA, trying to think within the box from time to time. We are thinking. This one was not there before. You need to start thinking. So now they will be able to sit down. Because the primary thing is that why I try to give people fun is that I want you to sit down and concentrate and not think of what you will eat. Are you getting me now? Not to think of what you will eat. Because if what you will eat has left, you can eat what you, at least you can eat, you can drink, you don't need to begin to run around. You can concentrate and do research. Now I found out that a lot of young people in Nigeria can do a lot if you engage them and you give them certain things. Are you getting me now? So, and that was why we decided to do that. And I believe that, more are still going to come in terms of I don't want us to always focus even on the money, because the money is not the main, it's the work. When you do the work, the fund will come. You understand? My interest is not first of all on the money. But when I started, I was not looking for money. I was looking for a problem to solve. Are you getting me now? So money is a dividend that comes. Once you do the right thing, it will come. Are you getting me now? So let's have the mind. When you come here, have the mind that, I want to go out here with skill. By the time I live in here, I want to have learned this. Do you know, I tell you, when I was like you, if I have this kind of opportunity, do you know that I'm not sure I will not still be where I am now. Research something that is convergent. Somebody says that a professor is someone who knows many things about one thing and one thing about many things. Education should not be in the application. If you get educated and education does not solve the problem, starting from you being able to feed yourself, ask yourself a question. That's why here what we emphasize is the head engagement, the heart engagement, and the hand engagement.